Boosting Facebook posts. People say you shouldn't do it. Yet, when you're on a profile or you're on a Facebook page, there's a big blue button that says Boost Post. So in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to boost a post, and more importantly, what do you do to optimize the post? How can you tell if it's a winning post, if you should put more money on it after the initial $1 a day, and then some of these you'll be able to scale. And I've been able to scale some of these to $1 million a day. And I've spent over $1 billion doing this on Facebook, Google, and other channels. I'm Dennis Yu, your host of The Marketing Mechanic, and every Thursday we drop a new episode where I sketch out the actual mechanics in digital marketing based on real experience and what's working, not theory, on what's working for you that you can apply, that you can teach to your people, that you can train up your agents, your young adults on how to do it. So first off, when you boost a post on Facebook, what are you boosting? Most people thought that you boost a page, and that's been the thing for the longest time because you couldn't boost a profile except for like 10 years ago. They let you do that, and then they brought it back recently. Now, what you do now is on your profile, you activate professional mode. So if you go to your profile, go to the top right, click on the triple dots, scroll down a little bit, activate professional mode. That lets you boost your post. The reason why that's more powerful than a page is that if you're Sal Sciorda of Plumbing Pros in Easton, Pennsylvania, you're already known in Easton, Pennsylvania. You already have a reputation. You have people that follow you. So why not boost that instead of your page that has like 23 followers? So when you are boosting posts on your page and then you have a video, we love to boost videos, cell phone videos. You're telling a story. Hey guys, we're in Easton, Pennsylvania today, and we're working on this water heater. I'm Sal Sciorda, and this is what we're doing. Like a little 1-minute quick behind the scenes video establishes that you are in Easton, Pennsylvania, establishes that you're a landscaper in Bloomington, establishes you're Tommy Mello in Phoenix, working on a garage door. I bet she's not done that in a long time, right? So there's a real video of you doing the thing that you're doing, saying what you're doing in the city that you're doing, and you're saying it just like you do on YouTube. Look at the previous Marketing Mechanic episode 14, where we talk about how to do it on YouTube. Facebook's kind of the same thing, but shorter. And so you have this post, and the video itself is the most important part, a raw video. Not edited, not with captions, not with your big trailer or video intro, just plain raw video, just like it is, immediately saying the city and what you're doing, and then introducing yourself. So it's very clear. Then you have your description saying, this is what we're doing, say the city name, say the service you provide, right? And then you have this option to boost a post. Now, some people say you should post it organically and then wait a few days and then boost the post later. But if you don't get a lot of traction anyway, I'd say just go ahead and boost it. And what you're going to do is when you boost it, you're going to boost for $1 a day, and you're going to boost for 7 days. And the reason we choose 7 days is so the algorithm gets a whole week, and weekends behave differently than weekdays. Some people say, well, I tried to do that and it wanted $5 a day. Well, you're choosing a different objective. If you're choosing the objective of engagement or video views, what you're trying to do is let the algorithm do the work for you. What normally would happen with the regular newsfeed exposure is the same thing that you have here. When you choose the objective, make sure you don't choose link clicks or choose send message. If you choose messaging as the objective, it's going to pop up a thing saying send them a message. Your cost of the base traffic is going to go up by like 20x or 50x. It's crazy. So literally, you don't want to place a button. You don't want to place a call to action. You want to go for video views or base engagement, $1 a day for 7 days. And then the key is that this is a video. It's you doing what you're doing. You've introduced yourself in the very beginning. Then when you let it go for a week, here's what you're looking for. And this is what everyone else screws up when they run any kind of ad, a Google ad, a Facebook ad, a boosted post that's mid-funnel engagement like what we're doing here. They just let it stop. And then maybe they'll make another video and they'll boost that, and they just randomly have a series of these boosts. And I've seen this when I audit accounts. Here's what you do. You come back a week later, or maybe even 2 weeks later, doesn't matter. The post is expired. Don't let it run indefinitely forever for $1 a day. Always set it to end in a week. Don't let it be $70. Some people say, I'll put $100 on it. Like, no, just put $1 a day. $7 is enough in America, even in 2026 or whatnot. It's still valid. And what you're looking for is this, several things. First is that you want a 10% engagement rate. And why is that? And this is true across every single network where you're running ads. It means 1 in 10 people that see it actually stop and watch the video. So if for $7 you're able to get, let's say, 500 people, then I want 10% of that. So I want 50 people to actually stay and watch on what's called a through play, which is 15 seconds or more, not just like they scrolled past it, but they actually stopped in that few 10, 15 seconds. They understand who you are. It allows Facebook to understand, yep, we're in Dallas, Texas. This guy's interested in a plumber. He's a homeowner, right? We're qualifying the target by interest, by their engagement. That's actually the targeting signal that Facebook is able to use. And so if we get 10% of people to engage, the average is probably 1 to 2%. So not every one of these things is going to hit 10%. Maybe 1 in 10, maybe 2 in 10 if you're really good. So if 10% are able to engage, now I want you to come in and I want you to look at the comments. Maybe you won't have any comments, but if you have a few comments, are they quality comments? Are they saying something reasonable, like they're asking a follow-up question on what you're doing? Or they're saying, hey, can you do a quote for me? Or what if it was like this or like that? Or what do you charge? Or something that shows that they're actually interested, not like, oh, nice video, or some kind of emoji that was generated by some AI that came in and commented. Not just a bunch of likes, but actually some decent comments. Then what you're going to do is you're going to boost it a little further. And now you might boost it for $2 a day and you go for 10 days. So it's like round 2, round 3. It's like the NCAA playoffs, get to the Sweet 16, Final Four, you get the winner, right? This is what we're doing here. We're letting the algorithm do this culling to find what these winners are. And provided this is a story and it's evergreen, it's not a Christmas special, it's not some piece of news, it's only valid for a day or two, but you're telling a story. That's why we like stories, because stories you can still run even years later. We have boosts that are 10 years old that keep running. It's just fine, right? Because it's telling a story. It's like your kids have Finding Nemo, they love that story, it's always going to be valid. You put more money on it. And then you want to see, does this hold? Now, if this 10% engagement rate holds when you put a little bit more money on it, then you can come back to the original ad here and you can change the objective. And then you're able to come in and you're able to select leads. See, some people will take a video and go straight to leads, but they never give the ad a chance to season, to kind of learn, see who the audience is, see who's engaging. You can then take this, and when you do leads, you can do Facebook lead form ads, which fills out a form right away, which auto-populates, so you get double or triple the conversion rate. Your cost per lead might be $15, $20, like we see with concrete coating. It's probably like $12 to $17 per lead. That means they auto-filled out the form, but that's not a phone call. That's not an appointment. That's not a customer, right? So then maybe a third of those will become an actual phone call. Maybe 40% of those become an actual appointment, and maybe 60%, 70% of those close and become customers. So you can kind of do what that math is on there. So a lead allows you to put a call to action button, like learn more, visit website. There's like 5 or 6 different things that you can choose. I think learn more is probably the most common one that people choose. And now that you've demonstrated that this thing's working, you can actually use this for lead gen. Now, what we used to do years ago is we would do remarketing audiences to say, well, anyone who watched video 1, send them video 2, and we would do what was called the 3x3. If you've done stuff with Digital Marketer, we would teach this 3x3, where you have top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom, right? Top, middle, bottom of funnel. And then you would just remarket from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. But you don't need to do that anymore, because what Facebook's doing with Andromeda and Advantage Plus and all the techniques that they're showing where they're taking away our controls to be able to target, is they're saying, look, we're going to operate this thing for you. All you do is you put in content and let the system optimize. That's basically what's going on here. So when you're choosing leads, now this is going to connect to your CRM. This could be your high level or your Service Titan or whatever it is, where when that lead comes in, you automatically call them. Like you follow up right away. You send them an email right away. You give them a quote right, or you remarket them on Google right away. Those ads that follow you around, and that's how you get the value out of that lead. Now, this initial video maybe did okay, but now you're doing, let's say, 10 more of these, right? And you're going to find some of them, one of these will do way better than the other ones. Maybe it'll get like a 17% engagement rate, and maybe this one's 2%, and this is 5%, and this is 4% or whatever. But you're going to find when you do a series of these, one of them, for whatever reason that you never could have anticipated in advance, it could have been because you're talking to a homeowner and she said a certain thing, or the background was interesting, or who knows, right? But there's always some reason after the fact that one video gets a better engagement rate than another video. And so this one, you'll do the same thing. Multiple rounds, you do $1 a day, $2 a day for 10 days. If you find it's a real winner and it comes into what we call our greatest hits, then you're going to let it run evergreen. And depending on the size of your neighborhood, like if you're in a suburban area where maybe the population is 10,000, 20,000, then you could let this run forever at say $5 a day. And you do a bunch of testing. We find maybe 1 in 10 will be able to make it over here if you understand how to communicate on video. And you might have 4, 5, or 6 of these that are all operating at $5 a day. And these will continue to run and perform for you. And then you'll just keep stacking, have more and more of these, and they'll automatically remarket to each other. And that's the beauty of something like Facebook, is that it's smart enough to know what video is going to perform. A lot of people who are new at Facebook advertising, they say, oh, well, my ads just burnt out, so I have to keep making new ads. Well, yeah, because it's not evergreen content, or more commonly, you've burnt out that ad. Because what happens is people will get greedy and say this starts to produce leads, and they'll say, you know what? We're going to crank this one up to $50 a day. What happens when you crank an ad up to $50 a day? People get tired of it, right? The frequency's high. If you look inside the ad set and you see the frequency, which is the number of times that you're showing that per day, is above 3 per ad 3 per ad set per week, that's too high. You've burnt out the ad. Just like you have a new song you like on the radio, or if you're old enough to remember the radio like me or whatever, you play that song too many times, you like this new song, and then after a week you're kind of sick of that song because you've seen it too many times, right? So don't do that. So let it run. Don't get greedy. Let it run at say $5 a day within a 5-mile radius. Maybe if you're in a real rural area, 10, 15-mile radius, and thus this thing doesn't burn out. Just because something's good, you don't want to just like max it out and have it burn out. Just let it run forever at where you can keep the frequency, ideally like 2 per ad set per week. That way it can continue to cycle in new audiences and you're not like frequency jamming the thing. Like we see people, I come in and I'll look at their ads, like they'll say, oh yeah, it was converting really well, now it's not. And I look in and I see, you guys are running at a frequency of 25. Like obviously the ad is burnt out. And they blame the algorithm. No, the algorithm, like you're forcing it to spend the budget and it's hitting the same set of people over and over again, or it's choosing to expand to a larger audience that it really isn't in your target because it's trying to reduce the frequency. Like you're giving Facebook an impossible challenge. So feed it new content, find these winners here, continue to produce more and more of these, and that's how you're able to optimize. There's something that we call MAA, which is something that you should do, or your young adult should do, or your agency, whoever's managing your marketing should do every week, called metrics analysis and action, where you're looking at each of these things, which one's a performer, which ones can cross over into this evergreen, it's proven itself, now it can run forever. Same thing on YouTube, same thing on Google, same thing on Facebook. You have these winners that are working. Once you're able to get to this point, which is like 1% of people, because most people, they get stuck, literally, they boost a post, or worse, they don't even boost, they just keep posting organically because they have a social media person, or they have some AI tool that's going to keep auto-generating content. But you get to the point where you're even boosting a post, most people stop there. Where I tried $100, I tried that. It's like going to the gym once, I tried that, it didn't work. Oh, you need to go to the gym multiple times to see results, right? But if you get to the point where you are testing and optimizing, not just like, oh, I boosted a couple posts, it didn't work. No, you're learning from it, you're figuring out why something is getting higher engagement and why something is not, to figure out these winners here. Once you've kind of determined what that pattern is, because you identify with the certain kind of community of conservative males that are patriotic. I don't know, whatever it is, like you'll find a certain community identifies with you. It doesn't matter what kind of contractor you are. You might say there's 50 plumbers in my city. Yes, but some people will just be attracted to other people that are like them, even though I guess they're all technically plumbers, right? So when you realize that, then you say, well, it seems like the videos that do well are when I'm out with my truck, or I'm talking to customers, or one of our team members, he's got a cool accent and they just like his personality, and the videos where Jack is making the videos do better than the other. Okay, well, just what is the pattern on this versus that? Now you start to make more of these videos. Now you start to learn. Now you can repurpose. Now you can boost better. Now Facebook has learned what's working. Now Facebook has attached this community of people that are engaging, not this one, but these people that are engaging, and can associate that with any future videos that you start to make. And now you have a system that's able to continue to run, and you're off the content treadmill where you're just continuing to make more content over and over again. And so this is what we're trying to get people to, but people fall down on these most common issues when it comes to boosting posts, changing the objective from engagement to leads. I hope you found this valuable. I'll leave you with a few other common issues that I see. And one of them is, well, can I post all of these all at once? Yes, you can. Oh, but I need to spread them out because I don't want, no. Your issue is you're not even getting reach. If you're a local service business, your issue is no one's seeing your content. If you want to schedule it out, you can, doesn't matter. Another thing is people say, should I wait until I boost? No, just boost it right away. Unless you're a huge channel or whatnot, just post it all at once, boost the stuff all at once. The system is smart enough to figure out who to send it to. And then as you start to optimize, don't fall for any of these things on, oh, I need to make professional video. I need to wait until I have a videographer or a fancy camera. Literally take content off of your iPhone. This is off of my iPhone. And this is what's working. Because what people care about is what's real. They care about your personality. They don't need a script. I'm not reading a script. I'm literally telling you my experience. Just like you have fixed enough broken water heaters or been up on enough roofs or done enough lawns, or you're an electrician. You've done it enough times, you don't need to read a script. And the ums and ahs and the pauses, that's normal. That just shows that you're real. It shows your personality, right? You're here because you've probably seen me teach this multiple times. So you can tell when someone knows their stuff. Same thing for you. If you found this helpful, I'd encourage you, like, comment, share. Give me some feedback. Let me know, what do you like? Where are you confused? What are other topics that you want to learn more about? But I hope you found this helpful on how do you boost a Facebook post. If this was awesome, learn how to do this on YouTube. Learn how to get a knowledge panel. Learn how to optimize your entire system. That's what we teach here in the Marketing Mechanic. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here, and I can't wait to hear your feedback and see you grow your local service business.